using a fake identity. This is a shocking case that has now led to multiple arrests, including 2 agents running an illegal immigration.
Something appeared online that no one could explain. A passport from a place that shouldn't exist. Its design looked official, its name oddly familiar. Then came the twist. Fans claimed The Simpsons had shown it years ago. What began as a strange image spiraled into a digital mystery connecting fiction, identity, and the blurred edges of reality itself. Was this a coincidence? A hidden message? Or something deeper, waiting to be uncovered? The story of the Torenza passport is stranger than anyone expected, and it's only just beginning. The Torenza passport emerges. In early discussions online, something strange began to capture widespread attention. A passport from a country or territory called Torenza. The document looked official enough at first glance, featuring a photo, identification numbers, and official-looking stamps. Yet, Torenza was entirely unfamiliar to most people. It seemed to appear out of nowhere, sparking immediate doubts and curiosity. The passport's origin and purpose became hot topics, with many questioning whether it was real or an elaborate hoax. The passport's design appeared authentic, with elements reminiscent of official travel documents, which made the mystery all the more perplexing. It included motifs and details that suggested a government-issued identity card, but no known nation or recognized state by that name exists. This contradiction between form and content ignited fierce online debate as observers tried to piece together the story behind Torenza. Was it a forgotten micronation, a secret society, or pure fabrication? What added to the intrigue was the limited information accompanying the passport's appearance. It surfaced suddenly on social media platforms, accompanied by claims and whispers that Torenza might represent an undisclosed territory or even a fictional place with a deeper meaning. People speculated wildly, fueled by blurry photos and scant documentation. The passport was a kindling for mystery, but the flame was far from understood. As experts and hobbyists in document verification weighed in, many were impressed by the craftsmanship, yet puzzled by the lack of official recognition. Some noticed inconsistencies in fonts, holograms, or security features typical in genuine passports. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories swirled, suggesting shadow governments, alternate realities, or cryptic messages hidden in plain sight. This complexity only heightened the passport's enigmatic allure. Another curious factor was the person depicted on the passport, whose identity was untraceable or seemingly fictional. No public records matched the name or photo widely shared in connection with Torenza. This absence of context deepened suspicions about the passport's nature. Was this individual a pseudonym, an actor in a viral campaign, or something else entirely? Law enforcement agencies and official border control bodies were, understandably, silent or dismissive when asked about Torenza passports. No government acknowledged issuing such travel documents. This silence left the field open for alternative stories and wild guesses, pushing the conversation further into the realm of speculation. The mystery tightened its grip on public imagination. The timing of the passport's emergence coincided with a surge in online interest around obscure countries, micronations, and fictional territories, enhancing its appeal as a digital puzzle. In this environment, Torenza's passport was more than a document. It was an invitation to question reality and authority. Internet users became sleuths, trying to unravel layers of information, half-truths, and fabrications surrounding this elusive entity. Amid all this intrigue, one truth remained clear. The Torenza passport wasn't just a curiosity, but a phenomenon that challenged how we understand borders, identity, and official documentation in today's interconnected world. The deeper story lay beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered and understood through unexpected connections. What exactly was Torenza, and why had it materialized here and now? As this passport's mystery grew, so did an extraordinary hint connecting it to something that had long fascinated millions around the world, an animated series known for its sharp wit and uncanny foresight. The Simpsons connection. Many viewers were quick to spot something eerily familiar about Torenza. The name and imagery seemed to echo a little-known reference from The Simpsons. For decades, this animated show has woven a tapestry of real-world predictions and cultural commentary into its episodes, often revealing subtle nods that later align uncannily with reality. Torenza, as it turned out, appeared in more than one of the show's episodes, creating a striking parallel to the mysterious passport. In one episode, Torenza is referred to as a fictional country, complete with its own customs and identity. The show portrayed it in satirical and humorous ways, using it as a backdrop for various storylines involving travel, identity papers, or international confusion. This prior fictional portrayal seeded a connection in viewers' minds between the show's creative universe and the unexpected passport phenomenon now circulating online. The passport's design bore visual similarities to the versions of official documents seen in these episodes. Color schemes, emblem styles, and even certain textual elements mirrored the fictitious passports or IDs shown within the storyline. Fans marveled at how a joke or minor detail from a cartoon could resurface years later in such a tangible and puzzling form. The Simpsons had inadvertently, or perhaps deliberately, anticipated the passport's exact appearance. Beyond design, the character associated with the Torenza passport in the show shared characteristics with the person depicted in the real document circulating online. This match deepened the mystery, raising questions about whether the passport was inspired by popular culture or if there was some larger, unexplained link. It blurred the lines between fiction and reality, prompting viewers to reconsider the boundary between creative imagination and real-world events. The Simpsons have always been believed to predict future events in very different fields, such as technology or politics. This latest, and perhaps the most recent example, seemed to throw new light on that trend, adding another layer of mystery for the spectators who were aware of the show's history. Torenza's case became a point of reference in a long list of strange coincidences where real life and art crossed each other's path in ways not easily understood. The overlap triggered audiences and researchers to get more involved in the topic, so they started sifting through the archives and guides to compile a list of allusions to Torenza. The research yielded findings that not only one, but many references, at times subtle, at times blatant, highlighted the conviction that the Simpsons world had silently illumined some obscure entity or issue of the present-day identity and documentation saga. The blending of the fictitious domain of the Simpsons with a reality riddle greatly magnified the passport's imprint on the culture greatly magnified. A mere paper turned to become a sign of unpredetermined vision, artistic divination, or maybe even a subtle affirmation from the writers. Along with it, there were both thrill and doubt, the skeptics asking if there was a hidden marketing campaign that took as the show's mythology for its model. Though, in the end, before concluding, it was the necessity of going really deep into the character of Torenza, and even beyond that, their sources, characteristics, and possible living or allegorical situations in the real world, understanding. Missing this background information, the tale would not be anything but a fragment poised between fantasy and reality. The search for truth about Torenza's origins soon revealed a patchwork of historical, cultural, and speculative threads that added complexity to this already mystifying case. Origins of Torenza. Torenza is not recognized as a sovereign state or official territory by any international organization, which makes it an enigma in geopolitical terms. Searches for its name yield sparse results beyond fan theories, obscure references, and satirical mentions. Much of what circulates points to Torenza as a fictional or conceptual place used in creative works, but no definitive, real-world geographic or political entity claims this name. This absence of official status feeds the uncertainty surrounding the passport. Some theories suggest Torenza could be a micronation, an independent entity claiming statehood without widespread recognition. Micronations have existed as political experiments, artistic statements, or novelty projects, often complete with their own flags and passports. Though intriguing, no credible micronation named Torenza has surfaced in public records or activist circles, leaving this theory unconfirmed and speculative. Others propose that Torenza might be a fabricated or symbolic concept designed to provoke thought about identity, nationality, and the meaning of documentation. In this interpretation, it serves as a commentary on how easily borders and sovereignty can be questioned or constructed through symbols like passports. This aligns with the satirical tone of The Simpsons, which often critiques politics, society, and bureaucracy with wit. Some parallels have been drawn between Torenza and fictional nations in literature and media that explore themes of displacement, exile, or secret governance. Such fiction frequently uses invented countries to reflect real-world issues indirectly. The passport's existence could be part of an extended narrative or alternate reality game, where storytelling adopts official forms to engage audiences in complex puzzles. Linguistic investigations into the word Torenza yield no clear etymology connected to known languages or regions. This lack of historical roots suggests the name might be wholly invented or adapted from obscure sources. This nebulous origin adds to the difficulty of pinning down what Torenza signifies beyond its immediate references. Cultural researchers note that the idea of unverifiable or mythical nations has gained traction in digital culture, where blurred boundaries between fact and fiction invite imagination. Torenza fits well within this trend, blending anonymity and familiarity. This cultural milieu helps explain why a passport from such a place could spark fascination, despite lacking tangible official recognition. Moreover, the concept of Torenza may deliberately exploit the aesthetics and structures of real nations' passports, blurring lines to challenge perceptions. This creates a powerful effect, triggering reactions deeply rooted in trust, identity, and legality. The reaction to the mysterious document reveals much about how people engage with authority and authenticity in a digital era. As the origins remain ambiguous, Torenza continues to evoke questions about the interplay between fiction and reality. Whether as a political experiment, a media artifact, or a social commentary, its existence pushes the boundaries of what a country or passport can mean today. Understanding these layers brings us closer to appreciating the full extent of the mystery surrounding Torenza and its curious intersection with popular culture. The web of intrigue surrounding this story only grows richer as more minds seek clarity on what Torenza truly represents. Internet reactions and viral spread. The moment images of the Torenza passport surfaced online, the internet erupted with fascination and disbelief. Social media platforms became hotbeds of speculation as users scrambled to decipher the origins and authenticity of this mysterious document. Discussions ranged from skeptical debunking to enthusiastic theories, giving rise to memes, fan art, and countless threads dedicated to unraveling the enigma. The passport had captured widespread attention in a remarkably short time. Curiosity quickly spread beyond niche communities to mainstream audiences, driven by viral sharing and trending hashtags. People from all corners of the world engaged in the debate, creating a digital wildfire fueled by mystery and pop culture intrigue. The blend of a seemingly real passport with a fictional place from a beloved TV show struck a chord across generations and cultures. In this way, Torenza became more than just a curiosity. It became a global cultural moment. Content creators and influencers jumped on the phenomenon, producing videos, podcasts, and blogs that explored every angle of the passport's appearance. This media wave propelled the topic onto news sites and discussion forums, blurring lines between entertainment and investigative reporting. The passport story tapped into broader anxieties about borders, identity, and the reliability of official documentation in a digital era. The viral momentum also gave birth to competing narratives. Some viewers embraced the mystery as evidence of secret societies or alternate realities, while others argued it was a clever marketing stunt or a fan-made project gone viral. The spirited debates reflected an online culture that thrives on uncovering hidden truths and embracing the unexplained. Torenza's passport became a canvas on which people projected hopes, fears, and fantasies. Micronations and alternative identities online communities found a new icon in Torenza and were engaged in extending their discussion into the area of unrecognized or fictional states. These groups tended to depict innovative governance as well as to contest the established ways of thinking about sovereignty. thus making the passport resonate even more with them. For some, Torenza was not simply a riddle, but a sign of a challenge to the political realities of the day. In parallel, several experts and document examiners from different parts of the world, albeit with caution, weighed in and urged the digital audiences to remain skeptical. They referred to the typical traits of fake passports and viral hoaxes, thus advising the public not to conclude too soon and be guided by the excitement generated. The expert discussion took place amidst a whirlpool of speculation, and it served to remind the people about the difficulties of digital authentication of materials. The conversation regarding Torenza included digital literacy, misinformation, and the ability of viral content to influence people's views as well. It was a point that was made how visuals and stories could be easily disseminated, promoted, and turned around beliefs. The passport saga was turned into a scenario highlighting the internet's smoke and mirrors trait, leading the audience to such a scenario as if they were a part of a storytelling of a community. After the questions remained unanswered, the passport had a pull that was felt by the different groups of people who were brought together by the same enigma, which in turn, community and conversation. It proved that a minor thing like a passport in an unheard-of place could set the world's imagination on fire and, at the same time, reflect strong cultural currents. The digital part of the world was more than happy to have the puzzle, and there were no less than enthusiastic players who were more than willing to keep the mystery going. The relentless online buzz demanded attention beyond internet circles, eventually prompting official awareness and scrutiny, official responses, and investigations. In response to the growing frenzy, authorities and experts were compelled to address the legitimacy of the Torenza passport. Official government agencies promptly denied issuing any passports under that name, emphasizing the importance of verifying travel documents before accepting them. Border control and immigration offices stated categorically that Torenza does not exist in any recognized capacity on the world stage, such as a nation or autonomous region. These clarifications aimed to quell concerns and confusion. Some passport verification specialists analyzed the document's features with critical detail, noting discrepancies inconsistent with genuine travel papers. They highlighted irregularities in security markings, scans, and holograms commonly used to authenticate passports. Such flaws suggested that the Torenza passport was unlikely to be accepted by real-world border services. Rather than proving its authenticity, these findings raised questions about the purpose behind creating such a document. Law enforcement agencies declined to confirm any active investigations, though the sudden appearance of the passport caught their attention due to potential implications involving forgery or fraud. Officials remained cautious in public statements, wary of stoking conspiracy theories or encouraging illicit activities. Meanwhile, intelligence communities appeared to monitor the phenomenon quietly, recognizing its odd place at the intersection of online culture and identity documentation. Academic experts specializing in international law and geopolitics weighed in to emphasize the importance of recognized diplomatic status for issuing official documents. They explained how sovereignty and recognition underpin legitimacy in travel law, underscoring that unrecognized entities cannot legally issue passports. This expert perspective helped clarify the legal impossibility of Torenza functioning as a traditional state, providing needed context amid widespread speculation. Diplomatic sources confirmed there were no ongoing negotiations or acknowledgments regarding Torenza or any such micronation on the international stage. The absence of political or diplomatic traces reinforced the conclusion that the passport was not connected to any formal government or organization. This official silence further fueled public frustration and speculation, but it also reinforced established international protocols. Some investigative journalists delved into the passport's origins, tracing its online appearances and digital fingerprints to attempt to identify who may have created or disseminated it. These inquiries uncovered connections to various online subcultures interested in alternate histories, fictitious nations, and artistic experimentation. Yet no definitive source or motive was confirmed, leaving the creation shrouded in secrecy. While official reactions were measured and dismissive in some cases, The phenomenon sparked broader reflection among experts on the challenges of verifying documents in an increasingly digital and globalized world. The Torenza passport offered a stark example of the vulnerabilities and ambiguities that can arise when reality and fiction collide online. A cautionary tale for authorities and the public alike. Public agencies called for vigilance, reminding travelers and citizens to remain skeptical and to report any suspicious or unrecognized documents encountered in official contexts. These appeals to practical caution grounded the discourse amid a swirl of myth and conjecture, emphasizing real-world consequences beyond internet intrigue. Though official responses sought to close the door on Torenza's legitimacy, the mysterious passport had already opened a larger conversation about identity, authenticity, and the power of narrative in a digital age. The story's digital ripple extended far beyond the initial passport images, inviting comparisons and deeper reflections on the Simpsons' role in this unfolding mystery. Similarities to other predicted phenomena. The notion that The Simpsons have predicted real-world events or inventions has long fascinated fans and critics alike. Over its many seasons, the show has featured storylines and images that eerily resemble future happenings, from technological advances like smartwatches to political outcomes such as election results. The Torenza passport mystery fits snugly into this pattern, adding a fresh chapter to the debate over the show's prophetic reputation. It illustrates how fiction and reality can seem to weave together in surprising ways. One of the most famous examples is The Simpsons' early depiction of Donald Trump as president, which seemed far-fetched at the time but became reality decades later. Similarly, the show illustrated futuristic gadgets, medical breakthroughs, and cultural shifts that later emerged in real life. These instances fuel discussions about whether the writers possess unusual foresight, tap into collective cultural trends, or simply exercise extraordinary creative imagination. Each prediction challenges viewers to reconsider the boundary between satire and prophecy. In the case of Torenza, the fictional country and passport appeared as a humorous plot device long before any real-world documents bearing its name emerged. This raises questions about coincidence versus intent. Was it accidental timing, a clever bit of world-building that accidentally became relevant, or a purposeful incorporation of an obscure idea that stuck? Regardless, the parallels invite awe and skepticism in equal measure. Experts in media studies argue that The Simpsons' predictions often reflect cultural anxieties and social themes that gradually manifest in reality. The show's ability to distill complex ideas into accessible jokes allows it to touch on evolving trends before they fully unfold in everyday life. This context provides a framework for understanding how an imagined place like Torenza could resurface amid global concerns about identity, borders, and legitimacy. The illusion of prophecy can also be attributed to selective memory. Fans revisit episodes with new knowledge and retroactively spot predictions that fit contemporary events. In this way, The Simpsons become a mirror reflecting human curiosity and pattern-finding behaviors. The Torenza passport phenomenon benefits from this dynamic, as audiences connect dots between decades-old scripts and modern mysteries. Moreover, The Simpsons' Southpaws usually put in references that are aimed at both the audience and the perplexed ones, which vary from the current political situation to very small cultural jokes. Such stratums attract continuous reinterpretation and entailment, thus permitting the episodes to convey their message differently at various times through the years. Torenza's characters do the same, which is why the show keeps being relevant and offers new readings every time the world changes. The same connection of fiction and reality is not restricted to The Simpsons. Still, other speculative fiction works occasionally get a similar reputation. Nevertheless, the show's lifetime and its huge popularity amplify the effects to an extent that every new coincidence turns out to be a cultural event. The Torenza knack for passports is an entry into a strange collection of episodes where satire almost kisses foreshadowing, thus giving rise to conspiracy theories and people's theories at the same time. The continued existence of these connections furthermore illustrates the potency of storytelling to affect and foretell societal changes powerfully, even inadvertently. The Simpsons, for instance, shows that humor and criticism at times can anticipate changes in manners that formal prediction methods fail to do. This interplay of humor and critique keeps audiences enchanted, making them ponder more about the role of fiction in shaping our perception of the future. In the end, Torenza is just another mysterious instance in the sequence of The Simpsons' supposed predictions, one that attracts attention just because it is at the intersection of fantasy and reality. In light of these parallels, various theories have emerged attempting to explain the full meaning of the Torenza passport and its links to The Simpsons. Theories explaining the mystery. Numerous hypotheses have been proposed to unravel the enigma of Torenza and its uncanny connection to The Simpsons. One common theory suggests the passport is the product of a sophisticated viral marketing campaign, possibly linked to upcoming media or artistic projects. Creating mysterious artifacts to generate buzz is a known strategy in the entertainment industry, and Torenza aligns with this approach's hallmarks: realistic details, deliberate ambiguity, and timing that fuels curiosity. Others view the passport as an elaborate fan creation or a piece of alternate reality gaming. Enthusiastic communities often craft immersive stories using real-world objects or digital content to blur boundaries between fiction and fact. This participatory hobby combines art, storytelling, and puzzle solving, and could explain why Torenza has such a rich backstory without official grounding. Its elaborate detail points toward creators with both skill and intent to engage audiences interactively. A more skeptical but practical explanation is that the passport is a hoax or forgery designed to provoke debate and confusion. In this view, Torenza serves as a social experiment, or a commentary on identity and documentation's malleability in the modern age. The document's circulation highlights vulnerabilities in how we verify truth and authenticate identity, making the mystery a mirror reflecting technological and bureaucratic challenges. Some believe the connection to The Simpsons is coincidental or retrofitted, meaning the passport took inspiration from the show's fictional country but was not created with prophetic aims. This reading frames the phenomenon as an instance of life-imitating art, where fans or pranksters borrow cultural references to weave new stories. This organic blending of fiction and reality typifies internet culture's fluid narrative style. Conversely, conspiracy theories abound, proposing that the Simpsons writers somehow have access to secret knowledge or that Torenza represents a hidden geopolitical entity operating in the shadows. These ideas often lack tangible evidence, but persist due to the compelling nature of unexplained phenomena and the human desire for patterns. Torenza becomes a symbol for mistrust of official narratives and a canvas for alternative histories. Academic voices caution that simple explanations, such as creativity meeting coincidence, are the most plausible, encouraging critical thinking and evidence-based evaluation. They emphasize how misinformation spreads easily when lacking context, and how popular culture can distort perceptions of authenticity. Torenza's story underscores the importance of skepticism in an age where appearance often outweighs fact. Theories also address the role of digital culture itself, highlighting how memes, viral content, and remixed media create hybrid realities. Torenza's passport may be a digital artifact designed to provoke reflection on identity, nationhood, and storytelling in interconnected societies. Whether intentional or accidental, the passport exemplifies how modern myth-making unfolds in real time. Despite competing explanations, the Torenza passport mystery remains a compelling intersection of technology, media, and cultural imagination. It challenges viewers to grapple with questions about reality and fiction, demonstrating how narratives evolve dynamically in the digital era. The story continues to invite debate, curiosity, and wonder. With these possibilities in mind, the puzzle of Torenza remains open-ended, inspiring fresh inquiry into the delicate dance between a satirical past and the perplexing present, the ongoing impact and cultural significance. The Torenza passport mystery continues to fascinate audiences worldwide, not only for its strange origins, but for how it challenges ideas of identity, nationhood, and truth. In an era where digital media blurs fact and fiction, The passport stands as a symbol of how stories, real or imagined, can redefine what feels authentic. It asks whether legitimacy comes from authority or collective belief. The connection to The Simpsons deepens the intrigue. The show's reputation for uncanny predictions gives the mystery a cultural edge, turning satire into something eerily prophetic. Fans see Torenza as another case of fiction brushing against reality, reinforcing the series' legacy as more than comedy. It's a mirror of society's imagination and anxieties. Torenza's viral rise also shows how the internet fuels modern myth-making. Online communities collaborate to decode mysteries, remix facts with fiction, and build shared narratives that feel real through repetition. The Torenza passport evolved from a single image into a global puzzle, shaped collectively by millions rather than authored by one source. At its core, the passport questions authenticity and power. Passports usually define identity and belonging, yet a realistic document from a fictional country disrupts that trust. It exposes how fragile our systems of legitimacy truly are. In the end, Torenza isn't just a mystery. It's a reflection of how easily symbols, stories, and belief can blur the borders between imagination and reality. The intrigue is still very much alive. Theories and discoveries keep coming up, and with each of them, the interest and the discussion are reborn, which keeps the mystery alive on the net and in social media. The passport has turned into a cultural lens, one that shows the wider aspects of conspiracy, digital myth-making, and the human need to search for meaning in the unexplained. For the researchers and the artists, Torenza has become a symbol of the gap between imagination and reality. It illustrates the process of a story that can be left behind its original place and developed through the people who interact with it. From this perspective, the Torenza passport is not merely a fraud or an object of the past. Rather, it is a tale that keeps being told and retold, continually shaped by the curiosity of the public. In the end, the unknown emphasizes a very old truth regarding telling stories. Most of the time, fiction shows us more about our world than non-fiction does. Moreover, even if a story comes from satire, it still has a wide audience, as it has already addressed a very decent range of human fears and wishes about being accepted, knowing the truth, and the paleness of modern identity. While the digital world keeps on making the unlikely combination of evidence and imagination, the number of stories like this one will increase. Stories that will not have a definite answer and will be challenging our very instincts to either come to believe or dismiss the whole issue. The Torenza passport is proof of the fact that fiction, humor, and mystery not only can coexist in a very close relationship, but also have the power to change the perceptions we have about media and ourselves. The Torenza passport mystery blends fiction, reality, and cultural symbolism in a way few stories do. It invites us to question identity and the meaning of authenticity in a digital era. If you found this exploration fascinating, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into the unexpected stories shaping our world, and watch the next video shown on the screen. It's a twist you won't see coming.